I find something for my phone to stand up on. Here we go. Right, we're back. Now, I have something very special for you guys to try and imagine. Now, imagine yourself. You're legally blind, so you have limited visibility, and you're lost in a country somewhere with no cell phone. Now, what do? Have a think about that. This is what I did. This is my story. I was snow skiing in Austria in a resort called Ischgl, and there are over 200 slopes. And I'm legally blind, so limited eyesight. And my parents and family wore like bright jackets so I could see them. But one time over the back of the mountains, I lost sight of my family, carried on skiing for another 5Ks before I reached a little town after having a big fall and losing my skis and poles and beanie and goggles and everything. Anyway, got to that little town. No idea where I was, totally lost, had no clue. Walked around the place when I saw a Swiss flag and I realized I've just skied into the wrong country. I'm in Switzerland. Now it gets tricky. How do I get back up to Austria, to the resort? Well, no cell phones. So this is what I did. I asked people for help. But being in Switzerland, no one can speak English. So I must have asked about 11 people. Eventually one person could understand me, but he couldn't really speak very well. He told me to wait here. I didn't know what for, and he walks off. I assumed it was for a bus stop as I was next to a bus. And so anyway, I waited 5 minutes shortly. Bus comes along. Goes the bus driver, I want to go back up to Austria. He's like, yeah, mate, hop on. Luckily, he could speak English. Very lucky. I don't even remember paying for the bus when I got off, but I must have. Anyway, I got to this cable car that I was familiar with, that we had been to that place before. And we got all the way back up to Austria, but I had to follow another person down to the chairlift down below because I didn't know the way. So I had to ask the second person. Yeah, he was a professional skier. So that made it really difficult because he went really fast, and I was a bit of an amateur and I couldn't see. So I was like, everybody that had stopped, I thought he must be waiting for me somewhere. I was like, is this the guy? Is this the guy? And then I walked past that guy. No, he wasn't the guy. And then I finally got the guy that's waiting. He's waiting for me further down. He's like, this way. It's like, there he is. Yeah, but by the time I got to him, it was about 4 meters by the time I could see him. Anyway, I got to that chair, back up to the top of the mountain, and I was hungry by that time, and it had been several hours. Anyway, I went for a big bowl of spaghetti bolognese when I bumped into my cousins who came in the restaurant. He's like, Dan, where have you been? We lost you. I was like, yeah, I was lost. I got lost in Switzerland, wrong country. She started laughing, and then we went outside, and I told my parents when I bumped into them. And at first they thought I was joking, and then they realized I was actually serious. And yeah, quite thankful I had made it back. So the next time they went back to Austria, I didn't go. They saw where I went wrong. Yep. So how crazy is that? That's just one of my stories of being legally blind. So the second part of the story, different place, is we went to a family holiday in Mozambique, sea holiday, beach holiday. And every time I go, think of this, if you're legally blind, so you can imagine this. You arrive at a new place. You don't know where the place is. You don't know where the bathrooms are. You don't know which is your house, your cabin. So you go walking about. You're like, crikey, I can't remember where my cabin is. Where is it again? Yeah. Try and imagine that, getting around when you can't see. You have to ask people for where the toilets are and everything like that. Doesn't matter, anywhere it can be, even in the airports. Yeah, my brothers are naughty though. They they point me in the direction of the women's change room or the women's toilets. Yeah, yeah. When I come out, I realize I was in the women's toilet when some lady comes out. Pretty funny. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Anyway, we're at Mozambique and at a beach place. What I do to make sure I get back to the right place is I draw a line from our thatched house all the way to the sea. So after swimming and bodyboarding, I walk back up the beach, and when I find my line, I follow it all the way back to the right cabin. Little tricks you can do when you have limited eyesight. And if I couldn't find the line for some reason, I would go around the back and find the cars and come in the back way. So that's another little trick I do. So yeah, you can imagine having limited eyesight. There's so much to think about. You're always constantly looking for landmarks. You're looking for places that can identify where your little room is that you're staying at, or where the restaurant is, or where the toilet block is, the one closest to you, or you're always trying to look for something, some sort of landmark or sign or a tree or something is next to something. And that's what I'm constantly doing every time I go somewhere, as look for places like that. So that's living. That's what happens when you have limited eyesight or you're legally blind. Now, being blind is a totally different story. I can't tell you about that one so much. But the limited eyesight one, that's me. That's my story. So I hope you enjoyed my little story. I've got a few more stories. So yeah, keep following my channel, and I hope we'll catch up with you later on. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for listening and watching. And don't forget, put yourself in the other person's shoes.